profiles of Mr. Serabian, and I'm running from one of the biggest predators that has ever lived, Giganotosaurus! Now, to get away from this guy, I got one chance. Get into the woods. Okay, I see an opening coming up. If I can get into it fast enough, here we go. Okay. I think I'm okay. Let me just take a quick look through the opening. Okay, I'm safe now. Big predators like that can't creep through the underbrush. So I think as long as whoa! All right, he didn't hear me. Well, as I was saying, the good news is that I'm in the underbrush. Big predators can't usually get inside underbrush like this, so I think I'll be safe for at least a little while. The Argentinosaurus hightailed it out, probably before I did. It was smarter than I was. It knew what was coming. But this is one of the biggest predators that has ever lived, Giganotosaurus. Now, for a good 80 years or so, Tyrannosaurus Rex sat comfortably on his throne as the king of the dinosaurs up until the 1990s, when all of a sudden, South America, paleontologists discovered this guy. "42 to 43 feet long and a 6-foot skull. That's about 1 foot longer than the skull of a Tyrannosaurus Rex. And as I mentioned before, this predator, we theorize, probably hunted Argentinosauruses. Now, one of the reasons why we speculate that is because we found a bone bed with an Argentinosaurus and multiple Giganotosaurus. Now, the problem is we don't know if they pack hunted, or maybe it was one of those situations where there was a big meat source that maybe collapsed, and then a whole bunch of predators decided to get together and eat them, just like great white sharks do. Now, even though Giganotosaurus is as big as the Tyrannosaurus Rex, it wasn't anywhere close to being related to Tyrannosaurus Rex. These guys were members of a group called Carcharodontosaurs. That name, Carcharodontosaurs, means shark tooth, because their teeth are very unique. They're not rounded or conical shaped like Spinosaurus. They're not D-shaped and thick like Tyrannosaurus Rex's. These were actually thin and blade-like, very, very sharp, much like those on sharks. Now, what that tells us is that Giganotosaurus did not employ a hunting tactic like T-Rex. It wouldn't bite, crush, and bring down the prey. What it would do instead is what I like to call a rip and wait kill. So essentially, isolate a member of a herd or just a big animal in general, then use their raking claws to rip and then take a step back. The idea is do that multiple times to eventually wear down your prey, and then once the prey is collapsed from blood loss, this guy could then use its teeth to bite and rip huge chunks of meat. Because it couldn't crush anything, but it would take chunks of meat, rip by rip, tear by tear. These guys could hunt one prey item for several hours before they would eventually be able to eat their meal. Now, as I mentioned before, T-Rex was sitting pretty high and mighty on his throne. But once we discovered Giganotosaurus, it got people wondering, well, Tyrannosaurus Rex doesn't show up in any other place in the world besides North America. Now that we have Giganotosaurus in South America, what does that mean for other continents and other regions? So now we've discovered a menagerie of all kinds of big predatory dinosaurs. T-Rex sized predatory dinosaurs. We have Giganotosaurus here in South America. We also have Mapusaurus, which is related to Giganotosaurus. We also have Spinosaurus, obviously from Africa, but there was also a predator named Carcharodontosaurus that was very similar to that of Giganotosaurus in Africa as well. In Asia, we have Tarbosaurus. In Europe, we have Torvosaurus. In India, we have Rajasaurus. So it's amazing how we used to think that Tyrannosaurus Rex was the cream of the crop. But it turns out that every continent across generations had their own top predator, like this guy and like Tyrannosaurus Rex. It's caused us to completely rethink ecosystems at the time of the dinosaurs. You have big prey items, but you also have big predators. So it started to calm down. I think it's going to follow the Argentinosaurus because it's not going to bother coming after me in this glade over here. So I'm probably going to have to sit tight here for another couple of hours just to be on the safe side. So, well, I've been in for a wild ride, huh? Maybe it's time for a little bit of a break, huh? This is Mr. Serabian for Paleo Profile saying stay healthy, stay safe.